So while they're in the abandoned house, he just pulls out, run everything.
Joey, I'm not to say.
Hey, yo, welcome to the State Road Show. So today I'm going to get into how one of my best friends is no longer here. But before I do that, if you enjoy the content I'm pushing out, hit the subscribe button. Also, channel memberships are up. You enjoy what you see, join the family. Also, hype the video and like the video. It'll help me out a lot. Now let's ride on this. Now, in 2006, I moved to Amber in Ontario, for those that know, in Kensington and Philly. Now, when I moved on the block, I was the new dude on the block. I was basically the only white dude on the block, and I fit in right away. Now, there was this family. They were from either Trenton or Newark, or it might have been, even been Camden, but they were blood, right? It was Chief, who basically ran the block. He was the big dog on the block. He had everything on smash. He had a brother-in-law named SK. Now me and SK became like this, but SK was wild, right? So I'm living on the block. I go up, introduce myself. I talk to SK first. Talk to him, where you from, blah 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 blah. We get to know all that. Now I found out he was cool. He was a real respectful dude, man. Like to SK, everybody called everybody beloved. I don't know if that's a blood thing or whatever, but like he was real respectful, called everybody beloved. Now Chief was an intimidating dude, kind of, right? And I'm a big dude myself, but best way to describe Chief is like on ESPN. Damian Woody is like a gangster Damian Woody. Big dude. He had to be 350 pounds, about 6'2", dreads. You know, he had all that. He was a pretty intimidating dude. So, like I said, Chief had everything on smash. So, he had a lot of money. He had cameras pointing to the street. Like he was on some low key Kensington Scarface shit, right? So, for years he's running things. SK and them wheeling down the block. Amber Street was a wild block back then. You know what I'm saying? I lived next door to this dude Fuda, and if you ever see this video of Fuda, what's up, man? I hope you're doing good. His whole family was cool, but they were about it, right? So one day, Fuda and them were on the block, and this girl Amber, who used to, she was cool, but she used to cause a lot of problems on the block. Like, I think she just wanted problems. Like, she was just a drama queen, and she was just about that, right? So Amber says something to somebody, they say something back, and she messed with a lot of dudes, right? She was just like that was her whole thing, like what I mean. She was just about that. I'm not gonna get on here and trash her, but like, yeah. So she says something to a dude that's with food and them. They say something back. Next thing you know, words are exchanged. She calls somebody she's messing with, comes back on the block with a comes back. What's the problem? What's the problem? This and that. So the rumor is allegedly Fuda hit the dude, right? So Fuda was wanted for a while. So we didn't see Fuda. So Chief and them is trying to like smooth everything over. Now one thing about them, like they were about that life, but it's bad for business. Like, what I mean? They're running a business out there. Like, regardless of how you feel about it, it's still a business and it's all about money. So the drama, it affects the money. It's always going to be like that. So once the situation pops off, now the block is hot, super hot, right? So after a while, when you gain that level of popularity and that level of money and your name ringing out there like that, it brings a lot of people around who are only around for one reason, and that's to get next to you, get next to your money, get next to your situation. So this dude named Pito started coming around. Now Pito was hanging around a lot with us and all that stuff. Like I'll tell you a quick story, right? So we walked over to play basketball in Port Richmond. It was me, Fuda, SK, and another dude, right? So we're walking down the block, and I'm the only white dude. We're walking through Port Richmond. Now, Port Richmond is predominantly white. So we're walking through with a basketball, about to go all the way down to Richmond and Allegheny to go play basketball. So there's this park, and I think Campbell Square it's called, right? There's this park called Campbell Square. Now, these white dudes are out there. There's like 6, 7 white dudes out there, and they start screaming shit across the street. get out of our neighborhood, ninja, blah, 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 with the hard R and all that stuff like that. Now, these were my boys. Like, this, these were my boys. Like, they showed me so much love when I lived on the block, when I moved on the block, and these were my boys. So, me being the white dude, I was the first one across the street. So I get across the street. Now we're all face to face and this and that. Everybody else catches up. Next thing you know, punches start flying. Boom, 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 boom. That's when they knew, like, I was about it. Like, I wasn't just a dude hanging with them, and like they were my boys. Like, they knew that. So we come back, and Chief's like, man, I heard about it. Like, how'd you hear about it already? We just got back. Like, that's the kind of pull Chief had, right? So everybody, like I said, knew Chief for getting money. Like, he was a money getter. Now this dude Pete though, people started looking at this dude sideways, right? And I don't care about mentioning this dude's name, and you'll find out why. So like we all looking at him sideways, like man, he's always with Chief. Like he don't branch off and hang with us. He don't branch off and like come in my hallway and smoke and all that stuff. Like he's just always around Chief. Like he's clocking everything he's doing. So Chief had a van. It was a big conversion van. He had TVs in there, PlayStation. We used to go in there, chop it up, smoke, play PlayStation, stuff like that, right? So Pete goes around, like I said, and we're all talking like, yo, man, there's something up with this dude, right? There's something going on. So like some dude comes around and he has a thing of syrup, right? Now the good syrup is the thick syrup. Like, I'm not gonna get too much into it because it's YouTube, but it's the thick syrup. So this dude comes around with syrup and it's kind of loose. So he's like, man, this ain't the real shit. Blah 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 blah. So like he's like, let me test it, right? So the dude's like, all right, like he takes it and he drinks like 3/4 of the bottle, gives it back and like, nah, that shit ain't legit. And the dude's like, yo, you just drank all my shit, this and that. So Chief hops off the porch like, yo, what the fuck? What are you doing? Like, what I'm saying? You don't do shit like that. So Chief went up buying the whole thing off dude and giving him what he was asking for, right? So after that, him and Chief weren't that like, they were still cool, but they had words. So we thought it was going to go down, and if he swung on Chief, he was going to get it that day. All right, so fast forward, Pito's still the same dude. So one night, Pito calls Chief like, yo, man, I got something, this and that, because Chief used to buy scripts and all that, right? So there was an abandoned house across the street from Chief's crib. Now, they used to all meet in there, smoke in there, do deals in there, whatever, right? So Pito pulls Chief to the house. Chief goes in. Chief was always known for carrying a billfold with it was like $5,000 in there all the time, right? Now this is supposed to be his boy. Chief's supposed to be Pito's boy. So he gets in there, and from what I hear, because I wasn't in there, if I was in there, the whole thing wouldn't have went down like it did. But so Chief's in there, and Pito pulls a 357 on him. Yo, run that. Chief's like, yo, what the fuck you doing? Like, run that. So Chief must have had some words for do this and that. He shot Chief in the chest a few times. Put Chief down, took his billfold. He's out, right? The neighborhood, the block, the next day is in an uproar. SK, dude, like I said, he was respectful. He was cool as hell, man. I loved SK. I said loved because I haven't seen him in a long time. I'll tell you why. He's on the warpath. He's looking for Pito everywhere. Everybody he sees looks like Pito. Pito was Puerto Rican. A pretty big Puerto Rican dude. Everybody that looks like Pito, he's hopping out on him. No, not him. He's hopping out with the thing. He's riding around on some menace shit, right? Nobody sees Pito. He disappears. We get rumors that he's here, rumors that he's there. We're riding over there, looking here, looking there. Nobody can find him, right? So one day, from what I hear, SK winds up shooting on a dude that he thought was Pito and wasn't, and got booked. Last thing I heard, because unfortunately I didn't know, as close as we were, I didn't know his real first name. I didn't know his real name. It was SK to me, And I heard he was locked up in the F fighting a body. So, man, Chief's funeral was a hard thing to do, man. Like, I haven't been to many funerals because I just don't like going. But Chief was my friend. He was my legit friend, and he was a great guy. Like anybody that needed any kind of help, if you needed anything from Chief, Chief would give it to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll just give it back when you can. You know, it was that type of situation. So when I went to his funeral, man, everybody's sick. Everybody's heartbroken. He had an open casket. You know, he didn't get hit in his head, thank God. You know, he was allowed to have an open casket. His whole family's there. And I was one of the pallbearers, you know. So, you know, losing Chief was just like a big loss, and that block was never the same after that. You know, I stopped hanging on that block. Everybody broke apart. Like Chief was like the glue that kept all of us together, and we lost him. And it's a damn shame over some money. But I heard Pito got booked for that whole situation, and he confessed to it. You know, he was hit. He was hit. Like he always carried the three. He always carried this 357, and man, he just took Chief's life, man, and it was just disgusting. You know, to take somebody's life over a couple of dollars, like I mean, come on, man. If you needed $500 because you were messed up, Chief would have gave it to you, like I said. And it's just, you know, the whole neighborhood, the whole block fell apart after that, and we all went our separate ways, man. But you know, salute to anybody that still lives on Amber Street, man. I miss you guys. If it, you know, if it's the same people, Fuda, man. I hope SK. I hope you're holding your head. I really hope you beat that. I can't find no information on it, man. You know, to Seven, his wife. You know, I hope you're doing good. You know, I'm sorry about your loss. We're all sorry about that loss because it was a big loss. But yeah, man, that's the story of Big Chief and Amber Street. I got a lot of Amber Street stories. I'll tell them in the future. But yeah, this is Kenzo. Like the video if you like the video. Hype the video if you really like the video. Subscribe to the State Roadshow Kenzo Files channel. And until next time, it's Kenzo, State Roadshow. Remember, it's cuffing season. Don't give no fucking reason. I'm out.